What's up YouTube? I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, competitive games from tabletop to video games, and today we are reviewing my new Cherubimon deck since we got new support from BT8, which is Digimon New Awakening. Now let's get started. So we're going to put this. So starting with the Digi Eggs, most importantly, we do have our 4 Cupimon. Now the reason why we're playing Cupimon over the Upamon is quite simple, is that so for Cupimon you get to draw when you declare an attack when you have 5 or more security. So this deck is very fast paced when it involves with its yellow level 3 Digimon. So we want to get the draws as soon as possible, while Upamon is when you have 3 or less security. So it's going to be a bit of a while till you actually start drawing off with Upamon. So that's why we're actually playing Cupimon. But if you feel more comfortable with Upamon, you can actually play Upamon instead. Now for next, with the level 3 yellow Digimon, we do have our 4 Bushi Agumon, which is amazing and definitely is necessary to actually play 4, since this is the main Digimon that you are planning to spam with Cherubimon to bring back to attack. And also, even if you chose to Digivolve them or just using the play cost, you get attack with them right away. So you really want to force attack multiple times on security with Bushi Agumon. So you always want to at least see it in your hand or your discard pile constantly, okay? Now for the next yellow Digimon that we have is actually one that a lot of you might actually disagree on, and that is Tinkermon. Now the reason why we're playing Tinkermon over Cutemon or any of the other memory blocker or Digivolution blocker actually is because, so when playing with the yellow Cherubimon, realizing that, yeah, you know what, minus the security attack is quite strong, but we are trying to pick a yellow Digimon that actually has the same consistency with the Bushi Agumon. So we want to play it, we want to attack with it, we don't care if it gets destroyed. Tinkermon is the same type of style as the Bushi Agumon. It has the deletion effect to prevent one of your Digimon minusing a security attack. So it actually flows really well with the deck, and you don't really care if it actually gets deleted. While Cutemon, let's be honest, in today's meta, now it doesn't stop memory game where Cutemon does. If you're not familiar with it, it actually prevents your opponent from lowering the Digivolution. So that is quite different because it's very specific on decks, while this meta is quite diverse at the moment, so it's not going to be so useful in all of your games, while Tinkermon, majority of it is actually going to be really good. Next, we have a friendly reminder to definitely like and subscribe, and especially subscribe if you guys want to enter in our amazing giveaways. Now, jokes aside, let's actually get to the other level 3 that we have, and that is actually Bokumon. So we're playing 4 Bokumon, which is necessary because you are very reliant on your tamers and your hybrids. So you do need help with this. So this is a very fast-paced deck, but also you can also bring it back out with Cherubimon and regain the memory. So if you actually gain memory, let's say with this Bokumon, and it gets deleted and returned, you could actually gain another 2 memory since it is pretty much a brand new card. So it's very good in this deck. Now for the hybrids, we do have 4 Lorimon. Now for the purple hybrids, you have to max out on them because it's definitely necessary to have. And not also like the consistency of the deck, it brings a lot more value if you actually try to max out. I wish there was more purple hybrids, but because we don't have more of them, you're going to have to max out on the Lorimon and also the Kazuleomon as well, playing 4 as them, and then you're going to have to play 4 of the Rihimon. Now that's it for our hybrids that we have. Next, Cherubimon, we're playing 4 Cherubimon, and for Digimon, that is it. Now some of you must be wondering, like, wait, what do you mean we're not playing the yellow Cherubimon? Now, the reason why we're not playing it, now I tested the tournaments, all that, it's not that good. Now, if you look at it as a Digimon, you're like, oh no, disagree. But look at it more as a option card. And the reason why I say that is that, so you have a card that you're going to pay 3 memory. That only applies to one specific Digimon for deletion. And then does this security -2 attack. Now, if we look at it as an option card, it's not that good. And especially that it relies too much on Cherubimon. So it's better off, instead of actually playing this, actually play just a better option card that actually deletes. So that's why I was playing it, trying it out, and I did not see the value compared to or all the option cards that we got. So that's why I actually took it out. But who knows, because we are getting more support as well in later sets. So maybe we might be playing this Cherubimon later on. But at the moment, it doesn't really synergize that well because one, it's only considered as a yellow Digimon, which honestly, I think it should have been yellow and purple, not just yellow. But that's also another issue with is that there's no recycling it or anything like that. So now let's get to the tamers. So we do have 3 analog youths, which is definitely mandatory. You could play 4. I don't think it's too necessary to play 4. I'm kind of happy with actually just 3. Then for our purple tamers, we have 4 Kochis, which is definitely necessary, especially with this deck. Helps with the draws, everything. You're going to definitely need this card, especially to Digivolve over your hybrid. And also if you have Cherubimon actually over it as well. Once you delete it, you're going to gain the memory as well. So there's actually a lot of cool plays that you could do with Kochi. Next, we have 2 Matt Ishidas. Now, this one actually going to make you start with the 3 memories, which is quite good. But also, you get to add a purple Digimon or option card when you play it. Now, it is quite expensive on the memory cost of it being 4. But it's still a mandatory card to actually play at least 2 of. Next, we have 2 Mimis, which I think is quite good. Is idle player that plays a option card, you gain 1 memory. So we do have quite a bit of option cards, so it actually works very well with this deck. And then we have another 2 Matt Ishida. Now the thing about this Matt Ishida is that you could choose of playing Matt Ishida or Kari. Now the reason why I chose Matt over Kari is because one, it does do a lot more with the deletion and gain memory, so we can actually abuse it quite well. But also the thing that really made me sold on it is that the play cost is 2. Now you might not think that because Kari's is 3 and 2 isn't a big difference, but it really does matter, especially with follow-up plays with your option cards of it being memory 1. That is definitely a extra extender and also extra memory that you could be relying on towards your further plays for your turn. So next we have the options. So we're playing the newest option card, Pandemonium Flame, which is so good. So if you're not aware what it does, okay, so you may delete one of your Digimon to delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with a level less than or equal to the deleted Digimon level. So if you delete a level 6, you pretty much delete anything that is unsuspended that's level 6 or lower. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that this is a 1 text, so it is not a cost or anything for deleting, so it's just a 1 text. So if your opponent does not have a unsuspended Digimon, okay, or a level that is equal or lower, you cannot play this. You won't. It's not like Dark Claw or the rest of them that you could delete, and then if it doesn't have the other options, then it doesn't matter. This, you have to have the full text on it, so you can't attempt to delete something if there is no unsuspended Digimon. So always keep that in mind. And also for a play cost of 2 is not that bad, but also the security ability is delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon, so it's quite good. But keep in mind, you cannot use it if you can't do the full text. Next, we have the one that I still won't pronounce till this day. And definitely an amazing card, especially for this deck, but also especially if it's in your security stack, this thing is just ridiculous. So we're playing 2 of that. Then we have 2 Calling from Darkness, which is definitely mandatory in this deck. because especially with a play cost of 1, it's very easy to abuse it and just to do a lot of combos, especially with Rihimon. You could actually do a lot with it. Then we have 2 Death Claw, which honestly I still debate time to time if we should actually play it or not. But you know what? Testing it so many times, I think it's definitely mandatory to actually play. And honestly, if I have to choose like this over Cherubimon, I would actually choose this all the time because it's much more freer, and also with a memory cost of 1, you could definitely play. But also, this is a card that you can actually play pretty freely, so that's why I definitely recommend on this. And then finally, we have our 2 Blinding Ray, which is definitely important if you want to gain a high amount of memory, but also you could definitely play with Mimi, so you could actually gain 3 memory instead. So there's actually a lot of cool plays that you could do with it. The only downside is that it has no security effect, so if it's in your security stack, it's just a dead card. And that's it for our new Cherubimon for BT8. Now, if you guys enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, and especially subscribe if you guys want to enter in our amazing giveaways. And if you want a sneak peek of future products we're planning to review here on the channel, you can follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.